Today's episode of FilmRiot is brought to you by Full Sail University. Today on FilmRiot, we break out some lighting. Welcome to FilmRiot, the show that takes mystery out of the effects and techniques of some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley, and last week I said that I would be getting into color grading this week, but then I thought, you can't do good color grading without good lighting, and jumping right into color grading before talking about lighting is really kind of backwards. So instead, I decided to kick off our series on basic cinematography that will lead into a color grading episode. We're going to first talk about what lights I have, why they are different, and show you each effect. The next week we're going to get into actually using these lights and the different shadows and looks you can get from them. So, without further ado, let's jump into this stallion and ride it like the wind. Or something heroic. So peoples and ladymens, I'm only going to go through the lights that I own and used on Tel. These are all lights that are easily obtainable and won't break your bank account. So basically, the perfect low-budget filmmaker lighting kit. First, we're going to go through my pro lights, and then later we're going to check out different bulbs that you can use on can lights for the super low budget range. First light that we're going to get into is my Lowel DP light. This baby is a 1000 watt light with tons of power. When I need a heavy amount of harsh light, this is the tool that I reach for. It's a tungsten light, which means that it's indoor balanced. On the front, I have barn doors so that I can shape the light to my liking. And on the side here, you have a spot flood knob. Turn it one way and the focus to the light gets much more of a harsh beam situation. Turn it the opposite direction and the light spreads out a lot more, giving you a much more even spread. Next, I have my 500 watt softbox. I love this lovely lady. It also is tungsten balanced and has a very soft and even spread of light thanks to the diffusion panel on the front. You can also take off this diffusion and it'll make it sort of a open face light, if you will. You get a much more harsh light from it and a little bit more intensity. I've done this a few times when it was needed, but usually that is not the way that you would use this light. Next is another open face light similar to the 1K, which is a 500 watt tungsten balanced light, just like the 1K. You have barn doors on the front and a spotlight adjust so you can dial the type of light you want. And moving on down again, we have the littlest brother in my Lowel collection, and this is the Lowel Pro Light, which is a 250 watt tungsten balanced light. Again, you have barn doors and a spot flood knob. The great thing about the 250 is that you can hide it in a lot more places. On Tel, I actually would use this light to fly above the actors a lot on door frames, and even in one point I hooked it to a fan since this thing is super lightweight. Moving on to some of my newer lights, we have a few FloLight products. First is a 1K equivalent LED panel called the Microbeam 1024. I freaking love this light. By far, this is one of my favorite lights in my kit. It comes in a few flavors too. You can get a spot version or a flood. The spot version has a very focused beam and the flood has a nice spread, just like spotting or flooding my tungsten lights. You can also get the light either in tungsten balanced or daylight balanced. I have mine daylight balanced, but I plan on getting a few tungsten balanced pretty soon as well. There are 5 main reasons why I love these beauties. 1, they are very lightweight. 2, you get the light intensity of a 1K at 1/10 the power usage. So if you're running your lights on a 20 amp circuit with a low 1K, you'd only be able to get away with 1 or maybe 2 1Ks running at the same time, and if nothing else is running on that circuit. But with these lights, you could get almost 20 of them going at the same time, which is fantastic for a low budget production. Third reason is the battery adapter on the back. I can toss a V-mount battery and then run this light where there are no power hookups, so no generator needed. The fourth reason is a built-in dimmer on the back. No need for extra dimmers since this bad boy has one on the unit itself. And the final and fifth reason is the biggest selling point for me, actually. These lights don't get hot. Basically at all. You can get them very close to your actors without making them uncomfortable or causing them to sweat, which we actually use all flow lights in the studio for green screen work like this now, which is heaven. We used to use those low lights and it would get so hot and uncomfortable and Josh would start whining like a little baby. It was ridiculous. It was just me. Oh, it was so...
I never whined. You used to complain like a little baby all day.
It's not true.
The lights are so hot on
it's
my
not
face.
true. That's a little true. Next in line OLED FloLight is the baby brother to the 1024, and that is the Microbeam 512. It has all the same perks and awesomeness of the 1024, but this one is smaller and is a 500 watt equivalent. It's lighter than the 1024, so it fits in a lot more places and can be flown on set a lot easier. After that, I have the Microbeam 256 and the Microbeam 128, but I rarely use on-cam lights. What I really use these things for is just putting them wherever I want. They're super small and super light. You can also toss a battery on the back so you can go wireless, which makes it a lot easier to just hide it anywhere you want. Finally, I have my fluorescent light, which is also from FloLight. This one is the FL220AW. I personally love the quality you get from fluorescent lights, which I have both tungsten and daylight balance bulbs for these bad boys. And as you can see, it comes with barn doors, which is always helpful. And the coolest thing about this unit, is that it's wirelessly dimmable. That's right, it comes with a remote control and you can control the intensity of your light wirelessly from anywhere in the room, which again, if you're flying your lights, this is huge. For example, remote. I like them apples.
You're really dark.
You like them apples? Oh. Oh.
There you
go. But there you have it. Those are my pro lights that I use on a regular basis, and I highly suggest them all. But now, before I jump into my super low budget lighting with my can lights, let's do some bill paying. If you dream of becoming a filmmaker, Full Sail University has degree programs to help you achieve your goal, including the on-campus Film Bachelor's Degree Program and the online Digital Cinematography Bachelor's Program. Through the Film Bachelor's Degree Program, you'll learn the filmmaking process from start to finish on a campus that's equipped like a Hollywood studio backlot. In the online Digital Cinematography Bachelor's Program, you'll learn what it takes to write, shoot, and edit your own films online. Students receive a technology package that includes a professional level digital video camera as well. Full Sail University also offers a variety of campus and online degrees in fields related to the entertainment and media industry, including video games, art design, recording arts, entertainment business, and many more. So visit fullsail.edu/FilmRiot to learn all the goodness.
Logo.
Okay, so we went through my pro lights, which you do have to crack open the wallet a bit for, but if you're doing this thing seriously, it is a must. However, if you don't have the cash or you're just starting out, there is a great alternative. In fact, even if you have all the fancy lighting gear, I still suggest getting yourself a few can lights. I talk about them all the time on the show, and you can get them online or pretty much any hardware store for about 15 bucks, and they're surprisingly effective. I use them a lot, and in fact, I use them a lot on tel as accent lights or to fill in places my other lights couldn't fit. Now, with these lights, the question I always get is, what bulb should I use? Now, there is no one answer to this question since the bulb you use depends on what you're going for, but a good place to start is probably a standard soft white light bulb. The wattage you use depends on the intensity you want, but again, a good place to start is probably somewhere around 60 watts. Another bulb I'll use often is the crystal clear light bulb. The glass on the bulb is not frosted, so it has more of the effect of an open-faced light. If you want even more power, you can just get a floodlight like this 120 watt bulb here. It has the same frosted glass as a soft white, but a whole lot more intensity. Now, if you want that open-faced look, you can always grab a heat lamp bulb like this. This one's about 250 watts, again, way more intensity. But that's it. Those are all the main lights I use on a regular basis. So now, I guess all I have to say is
Beware!
But that's it for today, and now that we know the lights, next week we're going to put them to use and see if we can get some sexy lighting going on. But until then, you can follow me on my Twitter land place area here. And so you know, a bit of an update, we're planning on shutting down the pre-orders for the Blu-rays and the DVDs, so you might want to jump on that right away if you want to get one of the signed scripts. We need to shut down the pre-orders because we're actually running out of the scripts. We've gotten way more orders than we thought we were going to, so thank you guys for the support, but we're running out of scripts. So if you do want one, jump over, order right away. All the pre-orders get a signed script, but we are shutting the pre-orders down soon. Of course, once we're in stock with the DVDs and Blu-rays, we'll be selling them again, but those won't have signed scripts attached. So if you want one, jump over right away. So there you go. You've been updated. Now, I'll see you next time when a group of wolves stalks us relentlessly in the snow.